2000 EST OCOEE.
Ladies, gentlemen, and genetic anomalies, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We are coming to you live with another stream, and today I'm going to be talking about a plethora of different subjects here. A whole lot of things. I'm going to be mixing it up a little bit more than I usually do. I'll be talking about some pop culture things, some stuff that's going viral across the internet, but also, as usual, of course, discussing the current political landscape. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the presidential election is right around the corner, so we've got to talk about what's happening when it comes to the world of American politics.
Having faith is a substance of things that you don't see.
Hold on, let me go ahead and send this message into the Discord so that the people in the Discord know that I am live. By the way, if you want to get such updates or have an input on the things that I discuss on stream, you're definitely going to want to go to the URL that's on screen. I think like right here. I want to say, yeah, it's right here, right? Wait, let me move this over so I can actually tell. Yeah, it's right here. Nice. I did a good job. Yeah, so that link will take you into the Discord server where we've got a relatively small, but also, to put a positive spin on it, tight-knit community where we've got, folks from various parts of the political spectrum who are interested in various things culturally. I'm sure you'll find people there that you will mesh with and, have a good time with. But even if not, you can always send things into the React Requests channel. If you want me to react to something, you guys will have input on the things that I discuss on the stream. Actually, hold on, I'm actually going to cut this music because there are a lot of things that I want to get to today. I want to make sure that I hit everything. The Angry Canadian in the chat says, so I saw Terrifier 3. Oh, that's cool. Oh, the Angry Canadian, did you see that I uploaded a video of us chatting on the Non-Newbie Highlights channel? Check it out. Let me know what you think. That was recorded a while ago. I actually posted that because I kind of ran out of fresher content, so, and it was talking about dating. So like, that's always going to be a fresh, it's like one of those like evergreen subjects. It's nice when I create stuff that like I have in my back pocket that I can post that will be evergreen content. So that's something I decided to throw out this Monday. Also, this is something kind of neat. I got a new water bottle from the store of all places. This is called Path. This is called Path. Now, it's alkaline water. It's purified with electrolytes for taste. And I do think it tasted fine. But the defining trait of this is the fact that this is, this is refillable. So this is not supposed to be just a single-use water bottle. This is supposed to be reused multiple times. So that's what I'm trying to do with this, because I've been looking for like a good water bottle. I found that some water bottles with at least the types of water bottles I've been using so far, I don't know what they're called. I think the openings, whatever you would call the opening, they're pretty narrow. Even this one's kind of narrow, but it's like, I don't know. The ones I get always end up having mold in them, and so I want something that's like easier to clean. So we'll see how things go with this one. And I'm also trying to be more meticulous with the hygiene with this thing. So I'll take good care of this little boy, and we'll see how things turn out. Name Canadian said, 2 single guys talking about dating. Yep, that's the one. Over gameplay of me playing the soon to be dead game X Defiant. But anyways, diving into the things that I have to react to. Actually, hold on. Wait a second. I've got this right here. Why don't I react to this? My sibling gave this to me to taste, test, and review. This is called Blazin' Buffalo in Ranch. This is a flavor of Doritos. Have I not tried this before? I don't know if I've tried this before or not. But here we go. Here's how we usually do these reviews. A little smell test. Definitely twangy. but I am smelling a bit of that ranch as well. So, you know, on first smell, it smells pretty good, pretty good. Okay. Now here's what the chip looks like. Hold on, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Here's what the chip looks like. What do you think about this? Hold on. Is it going to focus? I kind of wanted to get it to focus on the chip. Nice. That'll make it for a good thumbnail. All right. Here we go. And the test, sorry. And the taste test begins. It's good. It's good. But it also tastes like, hold on, what is this called again? Blazing buffalo and ranch. Buffalo. Interesting. I guess I could call that buffalo. Feels like a bit of a stretch though. It really mostly just feels like they took ranch flavor and threw like vinegar on it. Or like you know, like the lemon flavored juices, sometimes they call it like limon or whatever. I kind of get a hint of something on that level as well. But actually, you know what? No, it can't just be vinegar because I'm getting a little bit of like spice caught in my throat here. It's not strong at all, by the way. Don't, you know, let the fact that I'm coughing a little bit make you think that this is particularly spicy. It's not. But there's like a slight kick, but it's like the kick of a toddler. It's not like anything major that will like knock you out your seat. But you know, are these good chips? Sure, yeah. But the tricky thing with all these novelty flavors is that, like, do I like trying new flavors of snacks and foods? Yes. Yes, I do. But every time I try one of these new flavors of Doritos, they just don't seem impressive to me. Like, they don't seem enough to supplant the basic flavors of, what is it called? Nacho and ranch. They just don't seem like it's going to hit that level. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to say the same thing for this. This is a little bit interesting, but overall, relatively unimpressive. I'm not finding myself particularly enamored with this flavor. Not that I hate it, but it's like, it's not really for me, and I don't really see myself maining this particular chip. So I'm going to eat one more chip because it's not bad, but would I recommend that you get this? I don't know. All right. Hold on, I'll be right back because I have to give these chips back to my sister so that she can, you know, put them in some sort of bag or eat them or something so that they don't go stale. It's just sitting here like this. So hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh.
Picasso, you made my heart grow. A lesson I learned from the seed is it starts slow. Trust me, you gon' see the tree if you look close. Don't you know having faith is the substance of things that you don't see. But trust me, you gon' see the fruits of your labor.
All right, I also gave her my own little summary of my opinions on the chip flavors. So there's that as well. There we go. Oh, we've got someone in the chat here begging for attention. The Angry Canadian. That was a little mean, I know. But yeah, hold on. Let me check this chat here before I get to the next segment, because there were some messages I missed. I mean, you know, I will read chat when it comes up, But, you know, when I'm doing reactions, it's mostly for videos that go up on the Non Newbie Highlights channel at noon every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, you know, don't get mad if I don't read your chat messages in the middle of me reacting to something completely unrelated. The Angry Canadian says Canada. Sorry, I'm fumbling this. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. Long work day. The Angry Canadian says Canada is being attacked by terrorists that are preaching Palestine, saying unalive Canada and attacking RCMP vehicles. That is a severe amalgamation. No, it's an amalgamation of severe grammatic fallacies. I for the life of me, I'm not sure what you mean. Send me a link though. You can throw it into the Discord chat. If you have like either one news article or one video, I'll react to that. I'm trying not to add too many things to my my list of things to react to tonight, because I actually do have a lot of things to get to. But I'll take a look at that. The Angry Canadian says, you mean your kid? No, I have no children. The Angry Canadian says, someone says free Palestine, says me be quiet. Okay. I mean, cool. I don't have any gold stars to give you. I'm sorry. The Angry Canadian says, read comments. I'm reading them now. The Angry Canadian says, I haven't taken a full day off since day 46. Is that like day off of work? I mean, okay, cool. Have fun running your physical and mental health into the ground. We all applaud you. You know, we'll cheer for you as you go to your early grave. No, dude. You know, people need rest. So, you know, take some rest and take some days off sometimes. All right. Now we've got this video here. This was submitted by someone in my Discord server. I'm actually not sure who this person is. This is someone named Robert, and it's called October 10th, 2024. Let's take a look at this.
Apple cranberry lemonade. See how it tastes. Oh wow, that's good. Yeah, you definitely gotta get that. See you in the next one.
Bro, what is this? Dude. This is some bad content. Wait, you're 569 views? I mean, that's pretty good actually. But like, bro, what is this? What in the world?
All new Coca-Cola Oreos.
Oh! I will actually be getting a copy of these to taste and test and review. So, actually, no, this is going to be spoilers. I'm not going to react to this one. Hold on. What is this? I'm not going to watch the Panda Express one. But these short ones, what are they?
All right, you guys. Today we got lemon, mini, red, white, and blue muffins. See how they taste.
Let me guess. He's going to say that they taste good, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's not going to say anything at all.
I give it like 9 out of 10. All right, you guys.
What is this? Bro, what? Okay. Now, you guys might not... Okay, I'm going to watch one more of these, and you guys might be confused as to why I'm like... I'm like, what? I'm like surprised at the poor quality of these videos. But I'll explain what I don't like about these videos.
Today we got Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl. New Mountain Dew at home.
Mom,
See how it tastes?
I love grandma's dad, so I do not want her touching.
Oh yeah. Must try that. 9 out of 10.
Okay. Here's my problem with these videos. Is that if you're doing a review of like foods or drink or whatever. Like bro, okay, I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a review of something the way that Robbie eats reviews. So I'm gonna be like this. Okay, here we go. All right, we've got tap water and a water bottle. See how it goes. You'll have to try this. 7 out of 10. Like, that's not a review. That's not a review. You didn't need to shoot a whole video that took like 20 or 30 seconds long for me to watch in order for me to get that you like this thing and you put it at a certain scale. And here's why I do my reviews the way that I do my reviews. I'm not going to brag because I'm no viral reviewer. This dude here gets more views than me despite having, I think, same amount of subscribers or whatever. But here's the problem with these reviews. You can't just like consume something and be like, I like this, and then that's it. You have to describe why you like it, and you have to describe your experience with it. Like, what does it taste like? Why do you like it? Why don't you like it? Who might like this? Oh, excuse me. Who might like this? Might like this? Who might not like this? You have to describe it in a way so that, like, if you know you like things that taste a certain way or have a certain set of ingredients, you could be like, okay, even if the person who's reviewing this product doesn't like it, I might like it, and then do it like the other way around. But Robbie Eats gives you like no information about this. I probably could learn more about what this tastes like by reading the description for each of these products on Amazon than by watching one of these videos. This dude tells me absolutely nothing. He says 9 out of 10 must try this. And that's it. That's it. This dude is reviewing rare foods, obscure drinks, and he's just saying, I like this. Especially when it comes to things that are rare. It's like, no, as part of your reviewing process, document what it's like to experience this piece of this I don't know, part of culinary history. You know, don't just be like, oh yeah, I guess I consumed that. Like, bro, give me something more than that. You can't just be over here like, man, I like this. You should try this too. That's not cutting it. I don't understand why he thinks it's okay to just post these just like very, very vague videos. And I don't even know who shared this in my Discord server. Hold on. Who shared this in my Discord server? Someone shared this. I am going to have to ask the person in my Discord server why this was suggested, because I don't get it at all. It's not interesting. It's not good. It made me frustrated because I was like, okay, I want to see this guy's thoughts, and the guy himself was like, nope, just kidding. What a bad review, man. What a bad review. Who sent this to me? Mini Wheat sent this to me. Man, why is Mini Wheat is always sending garbage content into my Discord server? I don't know what's up with that. He sends these like random screenshots from like the cheesy Snapchat stories into my Discord server, clogging up the server suggestions channel. It's like, dude, I feel sorry for your brain with the internet content that you're consuming. It's like, this is only a fraction of what you're consuming on the internet. Like, I can't imagine just like the totality of everything that you are consuming on the internet. Like, oh no. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, gotta calm down here a little bit. So I'm gonna be honest. There's this bit of drama on the internet that's been irking me. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with politics. It doesn't have anything to do with any sort of like assault allegations or anything. No. Well, actually, maybe it is tangentially connected to assault allegations. But no. It's the drama consuming this new song that KSI has released called Thick of It. And no, it does not go like into the thick of it. That's not how it goes. It's a little bit more modern, one might say. But many people have problems with this song. They've been calling it corny. They've been calling it cheesy. They've been hating on it profusely. And here's my problem with hating on this song. It's like, this song is actually not nearly as bad as people are saying that it is. And I think there's an interesting phenomenon where if people like something, or if people like someone, they'll like the thing that that person makes. And if people don't like someone, they'll hate the things that that person made. So, like, for example, think of it, in my opinion, sounds a lot like some of Lil Nas X's biggest hits. And yet those songs just like blew up and they went viral. I frankly think that people would actually be rallying around this new song by KSI if it wasn't for the fact that KSI was partnering with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast, two of some of the most toxic brands on YouTube at the moment. Now, I do have some criticisms of this song, and I will go through them as I react to this music video. But I think in general, this song is extremely overhated. Does it sound dated like it came out of the 2010s? Sure. But that doesn't mean it's a bad song. It's extremely catchy. I personally have caught myself humming the song throughout the day. Like I was humming it like an hour ago, and I was humming it at work. Like, this is a song that I think it just came out the wrong time from the wrong person. Dude, if this guy dropped this anonymously or with like a different pen name or something, this would have blown up. So here, I'm going to react to the music video. Hopefully this dude doesn't strike me down. And then after I react to the music video, or maybe, after I react to the music video, I'm going to talk about some of the lyrics and what I do when, actually, no, sorry, a little bit confusing. While I react to this music video, I'm going to complain or talk about some of the lyrics as I hear them, because honestly, my biggest issue with this song are some of the lyrics. Not the flow, but the lyrics.
I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. They know me where it snows, I skied in and they froze. I don't know nothing but no ice, I'm just cold. 40-something milli-subs or so, I've been told.
So the one problem I have with the song is that it's called Thick of It, but like the problem with being in the thick of it is that like usually it's like if you're in some sort of like contentious situation, or you're in like you're like really going through it. But really KSI is sort of like basically unbothered. Like, yes, there was some drama with the whole Lunchly situation, but I mean, at most people were just like, oh, it tastes just like Lunchables. It's not like people were hating on Lunchly itself. It's not like it was sort of like wrecking the brands of everyone who was involved with the project, other than the fact that they were all tied with Mr. Beast. So to be like in the thick of it, it's like you're hunting for sympathy, but from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like things are too hard. And in the lyrics, it doesn't really do much to explain what the thickness is that is so difficult for you to be in. Yeah, it's like I don't know what it means to be in the thick of it, because the entire song does not explain what you're going through.
I'm in my prime, but this ain't even final form.
Now, people hated that line where it's like, I'm in my prime, where he's like mentioning prime or whatever. I think that that's fine. You know, there's this little thing called wordplay, you know, that rappers use sometimes, you know, get used to it.
So I've been told. I'm in my prime, but this ain't even final form. They know me down, but still my feet, they find the floor. I went from living room straight up to sold out doors. Life's fire, but once I'm ready for the war.
I think there's nothing corny here, nothing cheesy. I think most of that is fine. People are just picking nits, honestly, to hit on this dude.
This is how the story goes. I guess this is how the story goes. I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. They know me where it snows, I skied in and they froze. I don't know nothing but no ice, I'm just cold. 40-something milli-subs or so, I've been told.
Actually, thinking about it now, the lyrics on the hook, other than talking about being in the thick of it, actually aren't bad. Like, you know, he doesn't just say I'm cold. He's sort of like, yeah, they know me where it snows. I skied in and they froze. Like, and then he goes into saying that he's cold. So, you know, that is like not terrible. I mean, is it incredible penmanship? No, but it's definitely not bad. I think there's a good progression to getting to him saying I'm cold. Like, when you take out more time to sort of describe the things around the concept you're trying to convey, I think that always helps when you're writing poetry, especially in a form like this.
From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Where's my crown? That's my bling. Always drama when I ring.
I don't. Okay, people hate this part, but like, why? Like, yes, I do get like the shing with the sword is a little bit corny, but like other than that, like, there's something wrong with it with saying from the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Where's the crown? That's my bling. Always drama when I ring. I mean, referring to crown as bling like is a little bit of a stretch, but that's not even that bad. Like, bro, people are hating on KSI just to hate. This is ridiculous. And I think maybe one reason I'm making a video about this is because I hate. Okay, I don't hate haters, but I hate hating. Okay, that's making any sense. But like, whenever people are like anti-fans of someone, especially for like a frivolous or misguided reasons, that always gets under my skin because it's like, why are you hating? Stop hating. You're just mad that you're not able to make the same, make something as good or as recognized or whatever as the person they're complaining. Because look, I bet if half the people went and made songs, they could not make a song as good as what KSI is making here. Not to say that his song is particularly notably exceptional or anything. I think it's sort of like generic, basic pop rap music. But again, that's not bad. You know, people will be bopping their heads as they're like buying things from like the Target or the Walmart or the mall or whatever. And some of them are going to be like, oh, this sounds good. What song is this? And they're going to be like, oh, wow, this is KSI. I had a similar experience with a Jake Paul song one time. I would literally, it's kind of funny. Because one of my friends had recently gone through a breakup at the time, and I was like, "Oh, I got a song for you." And then I played "I'm Single" by Jake Paul, which is like basically his own like breakup song, but it's also sort of like has like a party vibe to it, where he's like celebrating his singleness rather than wallowing in it. He's like, "Oh, this song sounds so good. Who is this? What song is that?" I said, "Oh, it's Jake Paul." He said, "No, you've got to turn this off." It's like, bro, this dude loved the song until he heard who it was by. I think that we've got an inverse situation here with KSI.
From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Where's my crown? That's my bling. Always drama when I ring. See, I believe that if I see it in my heart, smash through the ceiling, cause I'm reaching for the stars. Whoa.
That's fine.
This is how the story goes. I guess this is how the story goes.
Now, one thing I will complain about with the music video is that I feel like it doesn't tell a coherent story, but honestly, like most music videos don't. So it's like, it's not exceptionally bad in that department.
I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. They know me where it snows. I skated and they froze. I don't know nothing but no ice, I'm just cold. 40-something milli subs or so I've been told.
Highway to heaven, I'm just cruising by my loan. They cast me out, left me for dead, them people cold. My faith in God, mine in the sun, I'm by the soul. My life is hard, I took the wheel, I cracked the code. Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna save you, man, this life will break you. In the thick of it, it's how the story goes.
The interesting thing I will say about this part is that I have never listened to Trippie Redd's verse all the way through, but is Trippie Redd's verse like anything special? No, but I think he does a little bit of a better job of like telling a coherent story with his verse. And it actually contrasts a lot with KSI's verse, because KSI's verse wasn't terrible either. It gets the job done. If that job is getting from verse to chorus, but it's like, it feels like KSI's verse doesn't have a whole lot of substance, which again is fine. Not every song is be incredibly deep or whatever. But it's like, I feel like Trippie Redd is actually trying to tell some sort of story about like, you know, what people did to him and how he responded to that and what it was that inspired him to respond the way that he did, I don't get any sort of similar impression from KSI's verses.
I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. They know me where it snows, I skated and they froze. I don't know nothing but no ice, I'm just cold. 40-something milli subs or so I've been told. I'm in the thick
Yeah, like, this is not a bad song.
They know me where it snows, I skated and they froze. I don't know nothing but no ice, I'm just cold. 40-something milli subs or so I've been told.
Like, it's crazy. People are literally hating just to hate. I mean, should I be surprised? No. I mean, this is the internet, but like, still.
I guess this is how the story goes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess this is how the story goes. Crazy. This is not a bad song. You guys are whining if you think this song is terrible. And I know, like, SEO and everything, I wouldn't be shocked if this got more than the normal amounts of views. Some of you guys are going to be hating in the comments, but bro, I do not care. Unless you're willing to disavow Lil Nas X, say that his music's corny, say that you'll never listen to a single song by Avicii again, maybe we can have a conversation then. But until then, like, bro, stop hating on this dude for making the exact same music that you were bumping to 10 years ago, okay? Like, it is crazy. It's crazy, especially because one thing that irks me too is like people will complain about the song, but they can't even explain what it is that like they don't like about the song. They say, "Oh, it sounds corny and cheesy," but they can't say a single thing about it that's corny and cheesy. So it's like, come on, dude. Like, bro, what are we doing? Like, there's like a level. There's a point where it's almost like, are you just like complaining for internet points? I mean, maybe that would totally shock me if that's what was happening. Anyways, that's all I have to say on that matter. I've vented enough, I think. Stop hating on KSI. Callan in the chat, nice to see you here in the chat, Callan, says the song is fine, even catchy. Yes, I agree. I've been singing the song for half of the day and half of the evening because it's so catchy. Like, bro, it's like number 5 on YouTube Music. People wouldn't be playing it this much if it didn't sound good, you know? Like, bro, Eminem has cornier lines in his most recent album. And they were just like, they were basking in that album. They soaked it up. Like, come on, man. Come on. But anyways, this drama here is some of the, I think, most bizarre, but also some of the most pathetic drama I've seen in a long time. This drama all started, if you can believe this, with updating a profile picture. Believe me, this is real. This is real. This drama started when someone uploaded their profile picture. This woman on the internet named Sarah Simons took to X to share a new profile picture that she posted. It was hashtag new profile pic. Looks very, very nice. And she even got, a positive comment. This person said, Lovejoy Band News. This person named Lovejoy Band News said, love it, fun specs. And then Sarah replies and says, thank you. They're the same specs I've had for years, but now my face is smaller. My specs look massive. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know how you shrink your face. I mean, is this like a Ozempic moment? But I don't know. But anyways, here is where the drama comes in. This person named 3 Aaron Caterpillar, I guess is how you say this person's name, goes and stirs the pot with the wooden ladle. Says, no, Sarah, don't interact with them. Breaking heart emoji. And it's like, whoa, what is this? What happened? Then Sarah Simons responds and says, thanks for looking out for me, but I've met the person who runs this account IRL and they were lovely. Have a great weekend, X. It's like, that seems like a fair response to me. Seems like, this shouldn't even be drama. Everything should have died down. Well, that's not true. That's not it at all. It's not it at all. There were a bunch of responses that were criticizing and hating on her for replying to this person who complimented her glasses. By the way, just so that we have, the appropriate context. Someone said, "I like your glasses," and she says thanks, and people are hating on her for saying thanks. Just so that we have perspective here. So this person named Jasboo says, "Yes, but I will tell you, when you have a presence online, interacting with an account dedicated to Lovejoy may seem like support towards the wrong people." It's crazy. This person named Derms Dunaf, probably a Dreams DNF or whatever, weird. I don't know, something to do with the Dream SMP or whatever. Anna says, "Hey girl, unfortunately, just because someone is nice to you IRL doesn't mean they're a good person. They support an abuser who we were under the impression that your family doesn't support anymore. Is that incorrect?" And then, of course, Lovejoy Bad News just responds with a little, hand heart emoji and a face with hearts all over it. There. So, kind of stirring the pot a little bit. I actually got Wilbur trending. That's how I found this on X. Sarah Simons goes ahead and responds. And by the way, if you want to know why Sarah Simons is even closely related, people talking about, the family doesn't support this person anymore. Sarah Simons is actually Tommy Innett's mother. Tommy's last name is Simons, so Tommy Simons is the son of Sarah Simons, just for a little bit of clarity there. But Sarah replies. She responds here saying it says all kicking off on my mentions because of who I interacted with on here. I keep seeing people defending me saying she can do whatever she wants. She's a 40-year-old woman, and I'm like, switch his hair. I'm 50 actually. Which is a great response because this is answering a fool according to his folly, right? I think King Solomon would have or King David would approve. This person here who seems to be a quackity stan. Also, it's funny. These people just have for some reason I find these bios on X really funny. Aspen between subtweets. I don't know. DNI pro shippers bigot standard criteria. I don't know. What are the Tumblr is this? Anyways, this Aspen Quacks person says, so that's your takeaway on the fact they're supporting and calling a person lovely who supports an abuser and accused assaulter. People are looking at you and seeing you don't seem to care about victims. Which, by the way, I'm just gonna say I frankly don't believe the allegations. There was no evidence that anything bad was done. No proof was given that Wilbur Soot was in the wrong there. People just assumed that Shovel was correct. And I'm not going to just believe things that someone says because the person is female. So, no, there was no evidence. And people just ran with the story. Those things always irk me a little bit. But yeah, that's the situation people are referring to if you're not familiar with what was going on with Wilbur Soot. But anyways, Sarah Simon responds, and actually this is a very mature response. I really like this one. Sarah Simon says, "I have more insight into the situation than observers of it on the internet do. If people leap to a false conclusion that I don't care about victims, that's entirely up to them. It's not true, obviously, but I'm not here to convince anyone of my compassion and empathy," which is unfathomably based, because I think too many people are trying to chase the approval of uncharitable people on the internet. Some people are going to argue with you in good faith, and some people aren't even trying to understand your position. It's really important to make sure that when you're interacting with these types of people, you don't put too much weight on their opinion. You don't waste too much time trying to convince them that you're right or make them understand your position, because let's be honest, they just won't. So, stand on business and keep it pushing, because people like that aren't really going to be reasoned with particularly well. So Aspen says, "But we all see what is online. There are unaddressed allegations, victims that were never acknowledged." Sure, victims. Interacting with someone who supports an abuser and supporting them is what we see from you. Surely you understand that. Which, by the way, just for clarity, the only thing that was done by Sarah Simons is said thank you to someone who said, "I like your glasses," just to put this all into perspective, this is all because Sarah Simons said thank you to someone who said I like your glasses. And by saying thank you, I guess that means you support abuse. It's crazy. Sorry. This is just like fantastically silly. So Sarah Simons responds and says, interacting with someone who enjoys a specific band and who I have met IRL is completely different to commenting on the extremely nuanced, complicated, traumatic situation you allude to. I haven't commented on that at all. I'm going to leave it at that now, which is, again, a very, very mature response. You see the great contrast here in maturity levels between this 50-year-old woman and this 15-year-old child. Well, 16, I suppose, if you want to. Oh, sorry, 17. I don't know. Year old child. So, Sarah Simons here, I'm going to convert this to American because who says arst in the United States of America? Sarah Simons says, I can't be bothered saying this again, but for those still kicking off, interacting with someone who enjoys a specific band who have met IRLs. I've already read that actually. So there's a reply to that where she says, I don't feel compelled to convince anyone of my empathy for victims of abuse, and I have no time for people who create narratives and divisions based on assumption rather than fact. I'm done on this subject now, which is great. And I like it when people are just like, I'm dropping this drama. You guys can fight about it, but I literally don't care what you plebeians have to say. Peace out. Because that's kind of like an easy way to shut down all of this drama. A lot of this drama keeps on going on and on and on because the people who are getting attacked keep on fighting back. And honestly, I understand, right? People want to be right. They don't want to sort of like concede or take a perceived L. But at the same time, you have to understand that a lot of times, responding to these people just makes the drama worse. And it will cause things to escalate even further. And it might even get you even more trouble, even if what little drama you're in is already gotten you in trouble. You're not going to be able to dig yourself out of that hole. So honestly, bravo to Sarah Simons for handling herself well in the midst of all of that drama. I think she probably learned a lot from observing the drama that her children have been involved with. That's honestly a really good example of how to deal with a situation like this. And I think that this should serve as an example to anyone else who's on the internet who happens to get involved in drama as well. All right, hold on. Let me see here. We do have more topics to get to for sure. Oh boy. This drama is particularly spicy. I find it very interesting. And the funny thing is, this is this is the type of drama where people are going to want a very binary response to it. But honestly, I have some complex thoughts about this. I have some complex thoughts on this. Now, I'm just going to roll the clip. This is posted by Hasanabi Hasanabi Productions, who actually has an account on YouTube. It's one of the biggest fan accounts for Hasanabi, posting a clip, basically clip farming. Maybe clip farming is uncharitable way to put this, but posting a clip from Asmongold on his stream. He's streaming on Zekrar, but it is Asmongold, the person, talking about, they're going to say genocide in Gaza. There's no evidence of a genocide, but the Israel-Hamas war, or the Hamas-Israel war, whatever. This is Asmongold's take here.
If you want to consider a genocide as...
Actually, hold on. This is missing some context. Hold on, let me see. Because unfortunately, the VOD is down, and I'll explain you why the VOD is down in a second. But hold on, let me see here. Unfortunately, the VOD is down, so there's no like long clip with full context of everything that was said. Gold context. Trying to find this clip here. I know that there's a clip. Just got to give me a second here. Actually, hold on, wait a second. I saw this on my personal account. Let me check my YouTube history. Give me a minute. is it? Okay, here we go. So we've got this here. So the beginning of this goes into the beginning of the YouTube clip. Here it is.
You're literally creating a tier list by not supporting them because there's someone else on the list? No, I'm not. I'm not supporting any of it. Absolutely not. I'm not supporting a group of people that would, kill a gay person or a trans person for existing. I'm not going to support that group of people in any context. Absolutely not. No. It's not even a question. These people would be the ones doing the genociding if they had the power. They would be doing it. Their laws currently enable them to do it. If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way.
So I think that this somewhat overlaps with this. I think this clip goes a little longer though, so I'm going to play this clip as well.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. That's it. Just takes enough. That's right. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Now, if you honestly, that was very strongly worded. I will say, now, I'm going to read my response because I quote posted this on X. I said, I agree with all of this except for the lack of sympathy. The Palestinians have gone through nearly unimaginable hardships, regardless of whose fault that is. Now their existence is on the line. And I stand by this, but I want to add a little bit more nuance to the situation because, look, is Asmund Gold right when he's talking about, the culture of Palestine and how, Palestinians, they want to go and kill the Jews and stuff. Yes, he's right about that. Is he right about how in Palestine you'll get persecuted and attacked, killed? You might even get executed for being LGBT. Yes, Asmund Gold is right about that. And is he right about that sort of hostile, hateful culture? Especially like a theocracy, right? This is they're living under Sharia law. Is he right about that culture being inferior? Yes, he is right. And the weird thing to me is that it's not weird actually, because I understand what the people who are like twisting his words in this way are trying to do. Is there's I don't like the concepts of protected classes, right? Where it's like, we have to pretend that this group of people can do no wrong. We're seeing this now with Islam, right? And I think it's funny because to an extent, it almost exposes how I think that they feel like these groups can't be either like defended or their existence even be justified if people criticizes like some of the things that they do. It's almost like they're afraid that if we talk about some of the bad things that these groups do, that people will start to hate them. But honestly, like, it's better to just preach to not hate these groups rather than saying don't talk about the bad things that they do sometimes. We see this with the woke crowd, with the black community all the time, right? Like, I was thinking about like what I was gonna discuss when it came to this subject, and the black community instantly came to mind, where the black community has issues with violence. You know, a lot of black people attack and shoot and kill and rob and hurt other black people, and we have a big problem of racism in the black community. You got a lot of black people out here who are extremely racist, from the black supremacists to the anti-Semites to the people who hate Asians. Right? Remember when we had the whole hashtag Stop Asian Hate campaign, and then we all got rid of it because we realized which group it was that was kicking in the heads of Asians in New York City. You know, right? Which is insane, right? You start this campaign saying, let's stop hating all the Asians, but you stop that campaign because you realize which group is actually attacking the Asians the most. Wild. Crazy. And I think that no group deserves preferential treatment, right? If you notice a group doing bad things, say, hey, guys, stop doing that bad thing. It doesn't mean that you hate the group, right? So people shouldn't be reacting to videos of black people in New York City kicking in the heads of Asians and being like, oh, I hate black people now. Or being like, oh, well, if that black person dies tomorrow, I'm not going to care. Because, you know, black people kick in the heads of Asians. Like, that's the dangerous part of kind of not suppressing those things that happen in real life. And to be fair, like, I think that's one of the problems with what Asmongold is saying here. He's like, well, these people have done things that are so bad that I don't care about any of them. They could all die for all I care, which is like, basically the message of what he's saying here. And it's the one thing about this that kind of irks me, because it's like, at the end of the day, the Palestinians, they're people too. Right? The mother of a fallen Palestinian child will mourn the same as the mother of a fallen Jewish child. They're all people. And I think you have to consider too that, like, I'm not gonna say that the Palestinians are the Palestinians or Hamas or whatever. I'm not gonna say that they're on the right side of the Israel-Hamas war, because to be fair, right, like, Hamas did attack Israel, but the Palestinians have been under like a lot of hardship before the war. And some of that might be their own fault, but some of that's also the fault of Hamas. Some of that might be the fault of Israel. There's a lot of history that I need to unpack there. But you can't deny that the Palestinians have lived a very difficult, hard life. That alone, I think, deserves some sympathy. You can't just be like, I don't care about these people at all, because that's like very cruel and heartless. And I think I understand the place where he's talking about, where, you know, people online are going to try to use appeals to emotion to emotionally manipulate you into supporting terrorist groups. Like, that's like literally what people on the internet are going to try to do. And Asmongold's kind of rebuking that. It is fine to be like, hey, I'm not falling for your emotional trap, but you also can't fall on the extreme on the other end, where you're getting all cruel and callous and heartless. Like, you have to be able to be like, hey, like, being a Palestinian, it's probably not fun. Like, especially if you're a civilian, right? Because you're living in a home. Well, Hamas is burying tunnels down below you, so, you know, the IDF might attack you at any point because they're trying to take out, Hamas installations, right? Or, you know, let's say you get aid from the UN RWA or whatever. Well, you know, if you decide to go ahead and get some of that aid by yourself, you might get your legs broken by some Hamas goons beating you to a pulp in the middle of the street with some sticks. Like, the life of a Palestinian is very, very difficult and hard. Like you have to give some consideration to that. You can't just be like, I don't care. And I will say this, right? Like, some people sort of go overboard, and we do see some of the racial preferential treatment along racial lines here from people on the left who are complaining about this. They're like, oh, there's no nuance. You're just saying them. Like, not all the Palestinians are bad. Like, sure, right? But when I'm criticizing the actions of China, like, I think we talked a year or two ago about the Chinese spy balloon, right? When I say that it's a Chinese spy balloon or whatever, I'm not saying that, like, all the people of China sent it out, or if I complain about the things that China does, or if I complain about Chinese culture, I'm not saying that I hate all Chinese people, but no one would demand that I say that, because that's something that people just naturally get. They naturally understand, hey, I can criticize China, I can criticize Chinese culture, I can criticize Chinese laws and whatever, without saying that I hate the Chinese people. And the same thing goes for this. I think Asmongold, there should be some flexibility to be like, I don't like Palestinian culture, I think it's inferior, without saying, without people hounding you and being like, oh, well, what do you think about the mourning Palestinian mothers? Like, he didn't say that he hates Palestinian mothers. He says he hates the Palestinian cultures. Now, of course, the fact that he said that he doesn't care what happens to them, that's a whole separate thing. But the way that people have reacted to this have sort of exposed, I think, a lot of people's racism. How they, want to pretend that Palestinians never do anything wrong, or that there's nothing wrong with Palestinian culture. Even going so far as to say, oh, all cultures are the same. You can't say one culture is better than another culture. Like, bro, yes, I can. I am absolutely willing to say that the culture of the United States is above and beyond what you would find in North Korea, for example, or Venezuela, right? Some cultures are better than others. They just are. That's a fact. Some laws are better than others. We can go down the list. It's crazy. And the insane thing is, these same people are the types of people who would literally boycott someone like Ludwig if they decided to go to the UAE. Right? Which is another Middle Eastern country with similarly anti-LGBT laws, similar Sharia leanings. They'd be like, oh no, you can't go to the UAE, you can't go to Dubai, how dare you? Bullying content creators into abstaining from these Middle Eastern countries, but then saying you can't say anything negative about Palestine, which literally has a armed militarized force that's so bad, committed multiple terrorist attacks to the point where they've literally been designated as a terrorist organization. Right? There's a double standard here, very clearly exposing some racism here. And unfortunately, that racist perspective is something that is the prevalent perspective across the internet. We see here. Now, I think this is actually good. Asmongold, recanted some of his statements. He said, looking back on it, I was way too much of an a-hole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid stuff like that. I'll do better. Bravo. Good response. I think he covered pretty much everything. I think the only thing he should have added is that, you can't blame the Palestinian civilians for the things that Hamas does. I think that that's nuanced, that like, should you have to say that? No. But if people are asking you to say that, like, it shouldn't take you much to cough that up. So I wish that he had said that in his apology, because I think that's one of the big things too. You've got to separate the civilians from the militants. Now, Minko Smash said, you just violated your golden rule of never apologizing. It would be very interesting. It would be interesting to hear why you made an exception on your next YouTube video. I don't. And then Zach responded by saying, I don't mind apologizing if it's something I think I'm actually wrong about, given the amount of times I've gotten hate for things and never apologized. Should be proof enough of that, which is true. Asmongold never apologizes, and this is like the one time that he's apologized, which I think definitely says something. Now, Slasher is reporting here that Asmongold has been suspended from Twitch for 14 days, according to sources with knowledge of the situation. This is like an insider report. The only public-facing information is that he was suspended temporarily. I'm interested to see if he'll post anything on YouTube. Actually, knowing my track record, as soon as I'm done shooting the stream, he probably will post a video or something, and my video will be out of date. But that's the latest on the state of his channel as of me recording this. So that's why I can't react to the VOD or anything. And I don't think anyone downloaded the VOD except Hassan's editor, who inserted Asmongold's head into the official upload of Hassan's debate with Asmongold that they had later on in that stream. It was a whole thing. I'm not going to react or talk about that debate because it was just like, I don't think it's worth talking about that much. But the last thing I want to react to is Tips Out, who is the CEO of OTK, responding to this whole situation. I'm going to read this. I haven't read this yet. I found this out while I was doing show prep for the stream. I find this interesting that this is something he even addressed. He said, the below are my personal thoughts and do not reflect my employer or any company or person I'm affiliated with. Hello, everyone. As many of you are aware, some comments were made by Zach yesterday about Palestinians and Muslims. Before I address his comments, I'd like to take this opportunity to share some details about my background in hopes that those reading this post may better understand who I am and where I come from and what those comments mean to me. 34 years ago, I was fortunate enough to be born in the United States of America, a blessing and lottery ticket that I thank God for every day. My parents, Syrian immigrants from Damascus, came to the U.S. in the 70s, 80s, at a time when the likes of Hafez and Rafat al-Assad were massacring tens of thousands of their own people in Hama. The sole reason I exist today can be attributed to the words of one of my father's neighbors who informed my late grandmother that my father's friends had just been arrested for political dissent and that the Mukhabarat were coming for him next. Quick on her feet, my grandmother, God Almighty grant mercy on her soul, grabbed my 22-year-old father and with tears in her eyes shaved off his beard and sent him to Jordan, hoping he would make it out. With the help of a few friends, at a time when many thought Syria was a wheaty breakfast consumed with milk. Oh, cereal. Oh, I get it, bro. If that's okay. My dad was one of the few Syrians lucky enough to be granted passage to America. To that, we say, Alhamdulillah, thank God. At some point in the mid-'80s, my father, then working as an engineer in Los Angeles, was serendipitously reunited with one of his childhood neighbors and schoolmates in Chicago, Illinois. This would become my uncle as his sister, my mother, would marry my father soon after. In typical immigrant fashion, they wasted no time and my siblings and I were born. Growing up in the early 90s, it was clear that we weren't your typical American family. After all, we were Muslims, headscarvers, no pork, five daily prayers, and so on. We dressed conservatively, packed foreign foods in our lunchboxes, and spoke with thick accents until grade school. Yet, strangely enough, I cannot recall a single moment in those early years where I felt different. Yes, the swim trunks could have been less goofy, and explaining what Zatar was to kids at school was a thing, but despite all that, we were just another American family in Southern California, navigating life and seeking out the coveted dream. Then 9/11 happened. For those who, oh my goodness, this is a freaking book. This is like a chapter in an autobiography. What in the world? Okay. Deep into the lore. Okay. We're getting deep into the lore. For those that may have been too young to remember, September 11th was simply a moment, was not simply a moment or a day. It was a monumental shift in thought and discourse. People were horrified, confused, but above all, angry. In a famous incident, popular radio host Howard Stern called for the entire Middle East to be nuked. Bomb them all. This actually reminds me, last 9/11, actually, no, this most recent 9/11, I saw on my podcast feed that, who was it? Michael Savage had done like a rewind episode. You know how like sometimes on the radio they will post they will like broadcast previous episodes of like shows or news reports or whatever of 9/11 as it happened. Michael Savage, who's been since kicked off the radio because he's gotten way too racist and like genuinely homophobic. I don't use that word lightly. I think that homophobia basically doesn't exist, but this is the rare case where someone actually is homophobic. He is just like basically gotten way too edgy and extreme for the radio. So he's basically been kicked off the radio and relegated to podcasting and like Rumble or whatever. But on his podcast feed, I noticed that he posted an old episode from his old radio show, his talk radio show, where he was talking about the situation as unfolded. And he was saying very similar stuff. He was like, and he wasn't just saying that we need to bomb the Middle East. He was also saying we need to kick out all the Muslims from this country because they're going to kill all of us. Like absolutely crazy stuff. And by the way, it's a bonkers thing to share again in 2024. I know people were kind of wilding back in 2001, especially because, you know, the sudden shock of what had happened. But like 2024, come on, dude, wild. But yes, just to concur with what this guy is saying, people were saying some extreme and off the wall stuff in the aftermath of 9/11. But yeah, it says here, in his opinion, it was not uncommon for school teachers to store clerks, politicians to celebrities, liberals to conservatives. One thing was on everyone's mind: we got to get them. But who was them? Surely the perpetrators and the murderers who claimed the attack, killing thousands of innocent people in the process and changing the landscape to modern humanity. But however, to some, them had a much broader definition. I think the tricky thing about this is, this was a kamikaze attack. So all the people in the plane died. It's not like there was anyone immediate to go after. I think eventually, some architects of the plan were identified, but it's like, if there was an intentional attack where people flew a plane to the building and they all died, who were you going to go after for justice? All the people in the plane are dead. So who can you kill? So I think that partially explains why there was such a dramatic cascading effect that caused people to hate Muslims so much following 9/11 in the United States of America. But let's keep going. One of the least understood aspects of the attacks was the local aftermath, specifically the experiences of Americans who could be perceived as Arab passing. It didn't matter if you were Persian, Indian, South Asian, or even Latino. If you were within a certain shade of beige and had a three plus syllable last name, you were this is a good slur. You can read it if you want, but I don't recommend running around reading slurs personally. Then had to be dealt with. Many religious minorities were also caught in the crossfire, with Sikhs, Hindus, Sephardic Jews, Arab Christians, and others receiving a significant share of the vitriol. Acts of wanton violence became commonplace. Houses of worship were burned down, and random people you knew from your community were being locked up, with some never heard from again. But how could this happen? How could such a monumental shift in attitude and behavior occur in the greatest country to ever exist? The same country that opened its arms wide to the tired and the poor, and not once made us feel less than any other American. Honestly, this bro's yapping, I think, but okay. Save this for the memoir. But I will keep reading this because we're in too deep now. I think we're at the halfway point. Truly, to be born American is an undeniable blessing, and despite our governance, I would gladly give my life to this country and the people that have given me and my family a chance. The reason behind such a substantial attitude shift cannot be attributed to a single moment or event. Rather, it was the accumulation of decades and decades of subtle media propaganda designed to produce an other so that the powerful can continue to prey on the angry and divided powerless. It is a tale as old as time, transcending region, geography, national lines, and civilizations. A governance strategy deployed all throughout history to keep us, the people, at odds. It is this same calculated dehumanization that has led to some of the worst heinous crimes and bloody massacres whose horrors we do not utter aloud. To many, finally, getting to the point. To many who heard Zach's comments, the language he used, whether intended or not, reached some of the same dehumanization that plagued their ancestors, their grandparents, and in some cases, their families today. It is the same language used to justify wanton violence, genocide, and the destruction of our universal brotherhood. It is the same language used to brush off a video of a Palestinian woman and child burning alive as a price of war. I agree with that, actually. That's a fair criticism of Aswin Gold's statement there. I'm not writing this post to defend the dignity of the Palestinians suffering in Gaza. Dignity does not require defense. It is a right. To those who have supported the humanitarian efforts and self-determination of the Palestinian people and all the oppressed around the globe, thank you. To those brave enough to look beyond their own anger and reach out to their Jewish friends and neighbors, thank you. These are trying times that will test us all. Zach's comments may have been an impetus for this post, but if there is one thing I hope to convey in my incoherence, believe me, this is coherent. It just should be saved for the memoir or the autobiography. It is this. I desperately plead to all those reading to wake up to the forces around you that wish nothing more than to separate you from your fellow man and conquer your hearts, your minds, and your humanity. Those who wish for you to look upon your school teachers, store clerks, and neighbors as them. For they are not them. They are you, born to different circumstances, no doubt, but are you nonetheless. Open your skin and take a look for yourself. We all bleed the same blood, share the same dreams, and will one day rot in the same earth until our bones become dust, and the difference in our beings will be no thicker than air. Please, for the love of all that is holy and good, look out for yourselves and those around you. And if you ever feel the urge and anger to reduce your fellow man to anything less than yourself. Ask aloud who benefits. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I was spending most of my upcoming time working behind the scenes to ensure our staff and teams are all right and that OTK continues to grow into the place I know it can be. In the meantime, peace. I mean, bro is yapparino. Not a bad post, but it's like, it feels like it almost feels like he co-opted the moment to like share a personal story. He didn't really say a whole lot about the actual situation or what he thinks about Asmongold's statements. It wasn't bad what he said. It's just like, I don't know. It just feels like, oh, hey, what do you think about this part of my life? But I also do like how he just doesn't just automatically, just accept or excuse everything that Asmongold said, because even though I agree with what Asmongold said about the Palestinian law and culture, right? I do think it is inferior. It doesn't mean that just because Hamas attacks Israel doesn't mean you can have sympathy for the civilians in Palestine getting bombed, right? That's my thing, right? I think that all of the lives matter the same amount, even if I would rather one set of one culture or one law be applied throughout the whole region over the other. That doesn't mean you run around killing people. I'm not going to cheer the senseless and murder of people. I'm not going to cheer even the price of war. As yes, many of these deaths are the price of war, but that doesn't mean that you can be callous and say I don't care, right? That's just cruel and heartless. Don't do that. I think Zach has learned that lesson, but he's learned it a little bit late. He's going to be spending the next 2 weeks learning this as he's banned from Twitch. Very complex situation. I think a lot of people are not going to be happy with my response here. I've already gotten some blowback, and what was his name? I don't know. Some YouTuber did a video about this, and I left a comment, and it made him mad. Like, people are not going to like my more nuanced perspective, because I think there's an aspect of it that will make everyone upset. But I'm just going to be honest. Like, I feel like it's the right take to have, right? Like, am I going to, bow down to the whims of the anti-Semites who say that the Palestinians can do no wrong? No. But I'm also not going to allow my fandom of Asmongold blind me to the fact that what he said was extremely callous and heartless. And it was wrong for him to say what he said in the way that he said it. It just shouldn't have been done. So anyways, I'll be watching his career with great interest. We'll see how things unfold. Hopefully he can avoid using such violent or extreme rhetoric in the future. But I think we'll just have to wait and see. Alrighty. There's more that I could talk about and react to, but I'm running short on time, and honestly, I'm getting a little tired. So let's see. I'm just gonna skip the whole Trump assassination thing because that news is already blown over. I'll talk about the polls later when I have done more analysis on that. I was thinking about talking about that. I'll strike these other YouTube videos. I'll react to them another time, but I'm going to react to this one last thing, and then I'll call it a night. So there was this moment from a recent Trump rally where Elon Musk went on stage and jumped awkwardly. And then everyone on the left started bullying this autistic man because he shares the wrong political opinions. Now, I could look at the image of Elon Musk, jumping and being like, oh, and like sort of like make fun of him for looking awkward and strange. But I think instead I'm going to react to what he actually said, because no one was actually talking about anything that Elon Musk had to say during the rally. And people did not really say much about how the appearance actually went. So I'm actually going to roll the tape here and react to what it was that Elon Musk had to say. By the way, I think it's pretty cool that we've got Elon Musk at a Trump rally, like the CEO of a major social media platform, getting so involved in politics. I think is unprecedented, especially when it comes to the right. Usually the social media platforms will get involved in politics, but helping people on the left, seeing them help people on the right is interesting. I don't think it's necessarily great long term, but seeing social media platforms support people on the right is just like a bit jarring for a lot of the American conscious. So let's run the clip here.
Come on up here, Elon. He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here.
I mean, I think we use NASA to send astronauts into space sometimes, but I get what he's saying.
Take over, Elon. Yes,
But yeah, there's that jump. The awkward jump.
Hi, everyone. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire.
True.
And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot.
True.
Fight, fight, fight! Blood coming down the face.
True.
Now, America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire.
True. Man, people like to say that Trump is racist, but look at him. He's embracing this African American man.
So who do you want representing America? Yeah, absolutely.
And the polls are reflecting this.
I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime.
Yeah, the most important election of our lifetime is the one that's happening next. I do not like this rhetoric. It's it's like, oh, you know, this election will determine whether or not we have democracy moving forward. Sure, until next time. Like, it's getting played out. Stop calling a wolf. Stop crying a wolf. But not to say that this election isn't important, but people act like this election is like so gravely important. I think that the 2016 election was probably the most important election in the 21st century, maybe save the 2008 election. I don't think that this election is more important than the I don't think this election or the 2020 election are more important than the 2016 election. That, I think, transformed American politics, allowing Trump to even be in the White House. People are... Anyways, I could go on a whole tangent about that. I'm going to try not to stun like myself. This happens when I stream when I'm tired. I apologize.
This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You've got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live.
Taking away your right to vote is it's not how I would put that. They're kind of eroding and diluting the meaning and the value and the power of the vote for sure. But that's not the same as saying that like they're taking away your ability to vote yourself.
Where your right to vote effectively. You've got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting.
Crazy.
I still can't believe that's real. So how are you supposed to have a good, proper election if there's no ID? It's just meaningless. And free speech.
You know, voter ID is racist because black people can't read. They can't drive. How are you supposed to expect them to be able to get a voter ID?
It's just meaningless. And free speech. Free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And if people don't know what's...
That was a joke, by the way, if YouTube's going to try and take me down for that. That was a joke. I happen to be black myself, surprisingly.
What's going on? If they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
True.
President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America.
There it is again, right? This is the election where we decide whether or not we get democracy, brother. Dude, democracy survived Joe Biden's presidency. Like, do you really think it wouldn't survive a Kamala Harris presidency?
Yes.
Weren't Republicans saying that like Barack Obama was going to give us like socialism and destroy America? What happened to that? What happened to that? Wasn't that like that's like 20 years ago?
This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. This one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay, and get everyone you know, and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now.
One thing I must say is that, like, I think this is the first election where I've seen Republicans running around saying register to vote. Usually you see Democrats saying, oh, go to vote.org and register to vote. It's really cool to see Republicans going out and doing the same thing now.
Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important. So get everyone you know. Everyone. So I'm speaking to people out there. Everyone in the crowd, I think, is already convinced. But
True.
For people out there that are watching the video, watching the live stream, you need to get everyone you know, at work, your friends, family, text groups, your social media, everything. Get them to register to vote right now. Only 2 days left for Georgia and Arizona. Only a couple weeks left in Pennsylvania. And if they're not registered to vote, it doesn't matter at that point. Register to vote. I'm being repetitive for a reason, okay? So nothing is more important. And a lot of people think maybe their vote doesn't count. Well, it does, okay?
Yeah.
It does. It matters. And this election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this because I was listening to people talking about the polls, and I'll do more coherent analysis in a future video. But like, I think it's fair to say, like, with how everything's going to the battleground states, yeah, I don't think it'd be a stretch to say that this election is going to be determined by like 50,000 votes. That's how it almost always is, and I think this election is going to be no different. So yes, like every single vote matters. Left, right, I don't care. Go vote. If you are a Kamala Harris supporter and you will be in dismay, screaming on the side of the road wearing a pussy hat if Donald Trump wins again, then like, bro, go vote. Go vote, okay? Because like, don't abstain from the election and then be upset about how it turns out. Right? Like, participate.
A tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. I believe that's swapthevote.com. I believe that's the site. And double check that your registration is good. Don't take it for granted. I'm just being repetitive about this point because it is the one takeaway more than anything that will matter is getting those registrations and then getting everyone you know to actually vote. That is what will decide this election, especially in Pennsylvania.
True.
So thank you, and honestly, you want to just be a pest. Just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street, everywhere. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. Thank you.
That was a good speech. That was a good speech. I like that. It probably helped that he had a teleprompter for sure. That was nice. That was nice.
What a great guy. And he'd rather be making rocket ships because he'd really rather do that. Nobody better. I think he's got 90% of the rockets that go up. But Elon, thank you very much. Incredible. Incredible. What he says is true. What he says is true. You know, we're all having fun here tonight, but if we don't register and if we don't vote, we're just going to look upon this as another sort of nice day in our life, but it won't even be a nice day. We're going to look back and we're going to say, wow, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort. We got to win. If we don't win, it's, as he said, it's just not important. We have to save our country, so you have to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. You got to get your friends and vote.
That was nice. That was nice. I will say, you know, do I really want like presidential, you know, or not presidential? Do I really want social media CEOs to be heavily involved in politics? Not really. I especially don't really want to see them in campaigns, but it's really interesting to see one of them actually, but kind of like dipping their toes into the political waters, but also being on the right, because it's very rare that you see that. Usually happens on the left all the time with X, with Twitter before Elon Musk took over, with Facebook, Instagram, other platforms doing what they can to sort of tip the scale slightly into the Democrats' favor. We're not seeing that here on Twitter because Elon Musk has taken over and he's sort of doing the same thing on the other end. Does it make things more fair? Yeah. But I don't really like it on principle. Still, though, I think it's pretty cool. You know, he gave a good speech telling people to go vote. Hey, I'm going to be honest. This is a narrative and message that I support. So I'm not going to be mad about him going into a crowd and saying, hey, register to vote. Like, and that's one of the things I would say if I was invited to go to a crowd like that. So, you know, I can't hate on him too much for, you know, saying things I agree with. But anyways, that will wrap up today's stream. I know today we did a very special late stream, just trying to catch up on some things, make sure they have some more current content to post onto the Non-Newbie Highlights channel. I do promise I will do a more appropriately scheduled and coordinated stream, and I'll be a little bit more focused because I won't be like exhausted like I am right now. But there's one thing that I do want to mention, and this is actually, you guys watching this stream are going to be the first ones to hear this, because I have not told any of the people I'm trying to get involved with this, but I want to do this, I don't think. But I want to have a special like election night stream, because I am going to actually be streaming my reaction to the presidential election live. Right now I'm thinking about some of the logistics I'm going to do, but also I want to have people calling in to sort of like do analysis, do reactions to the election. So the 3 people I have in mind right now, or 3 or 4 people I have in mind, the 4 people, let's say, I have in mind are, firstly, you want Callan Slayer in there. Callan Slayer is a guy on the right, close friend of mine. I'd love to have him on the stream. He's the type of person who'd be great for this sort of thing. Mini Wheat, he's, I guess you could call him an internet friend. He's a member of the Bread Gang. He's on the left, I think, or leftish. I think he'd be a great counter and help the conversation not be so like biased. I think that who would the third person be? Oh, Craig of Craig Cam fame would be great to have on the stream. He's also a believer, but he's like closer to the center, I think. I don't know if I'd say he's on the left, but he's definitely closer to the center than I am. Even though I think I'm more close to the center than most conservatives or right wingers. And also official Mike. Having him on there would be pretty cool too. That'd make for a nice, 5-person panel to break down and talk about the election. But I'm open to having other people be in the election coverage if you want to be a part of this, definitely let me know and I'll consider putting you in there. I'm also thinking about just having it be just like an open stage that people can pop in and give their thoughts as things are happening in real time. But yeah, I'm gonna try to schedule everything, but I think I'm gonna have a little intro segment where it's a mixture of either talking about the election or doing like the normal reaction stuff before the election gets started, and then of course streaming throughout the rest of the night. So let me know what you guys think of that. Until then, join the Discord. The link is in the description below right here. Hey, I see you, Link. And subscribe to the Now Newbie Highlights channel if you want to catch a fresh video from me 3 times a week at noon every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Peace out, y'all.